Jared Hall in the Entertainment Weekly Comic-Con 2024 studio with some folks who are almost fresh out of Hall H. I hope you've had a second to digest that overwhelming response there. It is the cast of Fantastic Four, which we now know is called Fantastic Four First Steps. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Joseph Quinn, and director Matt Shakman. Hello to all of you. How are you?
Great.
Yeah.
Hello. Great. How are you?
Good. Fantastic. Okay.
It's called First Steps.
Did you miss that memo during?
We learned that today.
Did you all keep that a secret from us?
No, I mean, I showed you the thing last night, and it was in there.
Oh.
You didn't notice it?
Oh, right.
Yeah, First Steps.
That thing.
Yeah.
And now here we are, First Steps. I guess my question is, with it being First Steps, how many steps are there?
That's
First
a good question.
ones.
Yes.
That's why I thought it was called First Steps.
We know our movie is set in the 60s and
Right.
kind of retro future 60s, and it's a lot about the space race and about, voyaging out there. And so First Steps is partly to do with that idea of exploration.
Another big first, I would assume, for all of you in this kind of world is that first time you get into your costumes. Can you tell me what that was like? Assuming it's already happened, by the way. Maybe I shouldn't, but...
Joe?
It has happened, yes, it has happened. Yeah, it was a very exciting day. Lots of build up. There was lots of different costume fittings, and I remember the first time I put it on, zipped it up, and I looked in the mirror, and I thought, Pedro's going to look amazing in this. Yeah.
So he does.
And he does.
Yeah, the first time I put Vanessa's costume on,
Yeah.
I just,
Bit like
it was
love.
so feline. I was really taken.
Well, the first costumes we saw each other in were the space suits. I don't actually. We haven't seen each other in our tech suits. We haven't seen. We've seen.
In the first of many fittings, I took an illegal picture and I sent it to you.
Yes, you did. You did.
I promise no one is going to see this.
It was deleted,
Vanessa.
but it was stored in my mind. And I can't wait to read. We haven't been in our Fantastic Four uniforms yet together, have we? But we were in the spacesuits, which was an amazing thing because they're so beautifully made and it's proper 60s astronaut and sort of costumes. And then when we watched the Apollo 11 documentary and you see Neil Armstrong and everyone, it felt very grounded. And it's kind of like, just even though there's extreme things going on and the characters go through something very life-changing, it felt very human and very real. And a really beautiful, what's the right word? Tell me how.
Extremely jet lagged.
Beautiful jet lag.
To revisit.
The word is jet
lag. To revisit, the 60s and the Apollo 11 journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's the comic was created in the early 60s, really at the same time that the space race was starting. And so it is infused with that whole idea of just looking to the stars and dreaming of a future where we would be space travelers. And so I really wanted to take all of that great stuff from Apollo 11 and just imagine that instead of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, it was the Storms and Ben Grimm and Reed Richards heading off into space.
Yeah. Please correct me if
They're
I'm
also
wrong.
infused with a lot of light blue.
Well, Ooh, something we can't talk about? No.
I've decided we can't.
Oh, all right, that's fine.
He's
That's
the
fine.
boss,
We
after
have a
all.
new topic. Correct me if I'm wrong here. My understanding is actual production doesn't start until this week, right? Tuesday?
24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the footage that we got to see, was it stuff that was shot for here? Was it previs? What can you tell us about what that actually was?
That wasn't us.
Sure,
yeah.
it's a-
We shot a few days with some stuff in this astronaut prep area, getting ready to go to space. We shot Dating Game. We shot or Let's Make a Match, it's called, and we shot Reed Richards' science show that he does weekly for kiddos, and then we also combined it with a bunch of previs and animatics that we have already been creating to help design the world.
Yeah. Very cool. For Pedro and Vanessa, some of the footage we saw, there's this bit of a feeling of there's like a perfect couple situation going on, but what can you actually share about this relationship?
It's a real one, a real marriage, a real family, and so it isn't perfect.
Isn't perfect, but as we were talking about earlier, but
You're perfect.
But you're so perfect. Pedro is perfect to me, which is so helpful because actually, when you look at the sort of history of that relationship, and it's like the defining thing about them in the sort of Marvel canon, really, and even when you just simply Google them, there's a lot of passion. You know, we spoke about this months ago that they don't separate, even though they have time apart sometimes.
They're codependent.
Yeah, they're forever. And I really love that connection. That it's kind of, they can't not be connected, and I really love that.
Is there anything Stepfordy about the situation?
No,
not at
definitely
all.
not. You know, I mean, this is Marvel's first family, and there are a lot of wonderful found families in Marvel, X-Men, Avengers. This is a real family, right? This is a married couple. This is siblings. This is best old friends. This is all the messiness that comes from real family, the good and the bad, is really what we're going for. And that's what makes them such a great comic. They were created in the early 60s. You know, Marvel was running out of money, and they were like, oh, well, we'll finally just do that crazy idea of making a comic about ourselves, about our own family. And it was the biggest hit they had, and it saved the company, right? And that's what is so charming about them, is they are a real family. And that's what we're going for.
Yeah. Well, on that note, also you mentioned the siblings. For the two of you, tell me about developing that relationship. What were you excited to explore between brother and sister? What are you excited to explore?
It's all exciting. I think the sibling, as someone that has 3 sisters, it's a dynamic that it's with siblings. There's a love there that is undescribable. It's a completely different thing. It's there's a reliance. There's as you mentioned, a kind of codependence that coming from the same flesh and blood, you are joined, and that's something that's very peculiar. I mean, I don't have like full siblings myself, but there is something very valuable in my relationship that I have with my sisters, and they matter to me enormously. I'm very excited about, obviously, I'm a massive admirer of Vanessa, and getting into that with her is going to be very exciting. And I'm an admirer of Ebon and Pedro as well. So establishing this family, I don't think the siblings are exclusive to the rest of the family at all. I think the dynamic is very much an inclusive thing, and family is complicated, and it's the most important thing in the world. So it's exciting.
I got to get your reaction to Comic-Con audience, Hall H's reaction to this news about Robert Downey Jr. What was that like, taking that all in, finding out about, hearing about Dr. Doom, and
What a reveal.
Yeah.
There's some drama there. It was brilliant. And he's an incredible actor. I love watching him and stuff. And to see him have another lap, another glorious lap in this universe is going to be, can't wait to watch.
Was that an easy one to make happen?
I didn't make it happen.
You didn't have anything to do with it.
I did not, no.
Maybe a certain guy named Kevin picked up the phone and yeah. But then to know that happened, you were, I'm assuming, over the moon.
Oh, incredibly excited about it. Yeah, no, he's amazing. I think Joe put it perfectly. I mean, it was a great theatrical moment, and he's an amazing actor, and bringing him back to the MCU is exciting.
Yeah. This is obviously not the first go around bringing these characters to the big screen. I'm curious if you wanted to look back at all to pick up on things of like, I really like what they did there, that's cool, or if you were like, maybe I don't want to do these things or those things. Evan, I'll start with you on that.
No, you know what? I haven't seen those movies, and I started, when I got hired to do this, it didn't feel like that would be productive to watch those movies. People have asked me about like how is this different than the other ones, and I don't think it's helpful to make something in opposition to something else. You know, we're just really making our own specific thing. This is no discredit to those movies, but we're telling our very specific story, and like I don't know, like any great play, you could like cast a play with 4 people and then recast with 4 different people, and it's the same play, but it's a completely different experience. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I'm putting my mic down.
That's
Mic drop.
Yeah. Anyone else on that?
I agree with Evan. I think that the authorship that we have as a family is what's anchoring us to this experience, and the rest of it is all like valuable information and inspiration.
Yeah. Joe, in the past, you've commented big shoes to fill following Chris Evans in the role. Is that like size 13 shoes, 14? Do you know what the?
God, yeah, I don't know. I've never actually met him
Well,
or looked at his feet, but yes,
but big shoes. Yeah.
Big shoes, I
And
guess.
of course, resurgence with this weekend thanks to Deadpool and Wolverine. So
Naturally.
Yeah, that's got to be exciting. Lastly, here I want to ask you guys if we, in what ways will we get to see, if at all, them pre-superpowers? Like, is that really where things start here?
I mean, one of the things we decided early on was not to do an origin story. You know, you talked about the other projects, and I completely agree with everything Ebon said. We're making our own thing, but one of the ways we're making our own thing is we're not telling the story of them going up and being changed and starting our story. You know, there's a lot of well-known narrative that leads into that moment, right? And then you're making up your new story starting basically at the end of the first act. And we thought, well, let's just start this thing off on a completely new foot. And so we are beginning after that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot, obviously, to look forward to here. Can we say that we can say the date, the month of 2020?
You're talking about when we're going to release the movie?
Yeah.
Next
We are
year
allowed to
in
say it.
2025. Yeah,
so
I think
scared.
I didn't want to like say. I mean, I
No,
know,
I mean,
but
I
I
think
didn't want to say something.
it's
if I
been
shouldn't.
announced and-
Okay,
yeah,
all right. I thought we were
absolutely,
out in
yeah.
the world. All right,
Exactly, yeah.
all right, good. I didn't
Thank
want to
you for
like
being
get
so
the Mickey Mouse hook over
careful.
here. Yeah, of course, of course. Congrats! Cannot wait to see this. Best of luck in production. And
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you very
Thank you very
much.
much.
Of course.
Thanks so much.